Hi, I'm Liz with Liz's Crafts, and today I'm going to show you how I made a mold for this oyster and then actually made it out of resin. So here's a little crystal critter that I bought for my mom like back in the 80s. And I'm going to clean it real good with some alcohol and a paper towel. So she gave them back to me. There's several of them, but most of them are broken. This is one of them that is in a whole piece, so I'm going to use it to make a mold. So I'm going to clean it real good with alcohol. And now I have this little plastic container. Not sure where I got it from, but I am going to hot glue this oyster down to the bottom of that little container there. So I'm just putting a little bit of hot glue on there. I don't want too much. And I'm gluing it onto the bottom portion of my oyster. So there it is in the container. Now what I need is my scales, because the silicone that you use is measured 1-to-1 by weight. So I got 16 ounces of part A, and there it is, silicone, and it's from J. Diction. I got it off of Amazon. That is part A. And now I zeroed out my scales, and I'm going to add part B. So I also need 16. Well, I guess it's not ounces. I'm not sure what it is. But anyway, whatever it is, you do the same weight measurement for each. And I am going to stir this for 4 minutes. And I'm just using the measuring cup that came with it from J. Diction silicone. And you want to make sure you scrape around the sides, and you also get the bottom of it too, so that you mix everything in together. And it says on there to do it from 3 to 5 minutes. So I do it for 4 minutes. And here's where I'm going to do my molding. So I have my oyster hot glued to the bottom of this plastic container. You do not want to use silicone container, because silicone does stick to silicone. It does not stick to plastic. And then instead of a silicone mat on my board there, I have a plastic cutting board from the Dollar Tree, just a piece of it. Now, I didn't mix up quite enough, but that's okay. I can always mix up some more. You can always add more. So there it is. All but the tops of it are covered. So I didn't know how much I needed the first time. So now I'm going to do 4 more in weight. And like I said, it's probably grams or something. I don't know. So did I do 10? I guess I did 10. I thought I did 4. 10. 10. 14. Yes, I did 14. Okay, I was going to do 10. It ran over. So I did 14 of each. And now I'm going to stir it again for another 4 minutes. Once I get it all stirred up, I'm going to put the rest of this in my cup there. There you have it. It's totally full. It's totally covering my oyster. And this is later on in the same day, and it is cured. So I'm just taking my popsicle stick there and trying to pull it off from the sides. Now, it is a little difficult to get it out. I'm not going to lie to you about that. And it does take a little bit of muscle and a little bit of time. So I was putting my finger in there, trying to hold it, and then getting the stick in there. But you got to loosen it up from the sides and go all the way around. And like I said, it does take a little bit of time. I didn't speed this up or anything like that, so this is in real time. I could have sped this up for you, but I thought you might want to see how it is in real time. And I am just going around the edges still there, and then kind of pressing the bottom part, trying to get it out, putting my fingers in there, pressing it, squeezing it, doing whatever I can to pop it loose. Like I say, it does take a little bit of effort to do this. But there you go. I'm pressing it from the bottom. And here it comes. There it is. Still got that glue in the bottom of the container, but that's okay. And now we have this little hole that we got to get this oyster out. My crystal critters got to come out of this mold so we can make one of our own. And there it is. It's out. Take that little bit of silicone off there. So that's what it looks like. There's our oyster. Nothing wrong with it. Now, I do have these other molds that I made, but I'll show you those in a different video. So now what I'm going to do is get my epoxy ready. So I use craft resin epoxy. And you want to measure that in ounces, not weight, but in ounces or milliliters or whatever. And you do mix the same 1-to-1 ratio. So I'm putting just a little bit in a cup. And I know I have these other molds there, but I will show you those in a different video. And I was going to put, I am putting some white mica powder in it, but I had way too much. I still think I put too much in there. But this is what I'm using, the HTV Ront mica powder. And I'm just going to stir it up until it is fully mixed up. And you do need to go around the sides and all like that. You don't want any loose powder in there. You do want to mix it up really good. So once I have it mixed up, then I'm going to start pouring it in my oyster mold. And I should have moved all the other stuff out of the way, and I didn't. I'm sorry about that. So this kind of has two sides, you know. You saw what it looked like before we made the mold. So you have one side of the oyster shell and then the other side of the oyster shell. So you do want to make sure you get it in both sides of the shell. And then I just fill it up. And here is the next day. So I'm going to take it out, and it does take a little bit of effort to get it out of the mold. I'm not going to lie about that. But it's not too bad, and I didn't speed this up or anything. I was a little disappointed that I had so many bubbles in it. But other than that, and the bubbles were on the outside of the shell, not the inside. So, I mean, you don't really pay that much attention to it. And then I'm just trimming off the bottom part there. Just a little bit, not too much. And I think, you know, this would have been better. You could see the facets and everything in it better if you don't use mica powders for this. if instead you use like the pigments, the resin pigments. So I think I'm gonna do this one again, probably not in a video, and I'm going to use the resin pigment on it. Now I did notice you could see some, there's the, where the mica powder is that had the holes. I mean, they're not really holes, they're just bubbles. They're underneath the surface, so you don't feel them, but you do see them. And then you see on the right hand side of the shell where the two pieces go together, there's an extra piece there. So I'm just going to trim that off. And it's soft enough that I can just do it with my little fingernail scissors. But I am pretty happy with the way this turned out. And like I said, the next time I pour it, I'm going to use the pigments, and I think it'll look a lot better. I think you'll be able to see the facets even better. Although this one doesn't, I mean, it doesn't look bad. I don't hate it. I actually kind of like it. But here's a picture of it. And you'll have to let me know what you think of it. Again, I'm Liz with Liz's Crafts, and if you like what you see, give me a thumbs up. And if you want to see something other than resin, let me know in the comments, and I'll see you later. Bye.